Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas. Kyle here. I'm sure we're all going to have a whole lot of fun and say a lot of cool stuff, hopefully, here in a moment in this race here, KYROC at Daytona. However, I did want to peel back the curtain, get out of character for a moment. I would like it if we could do a little bit of a moment of silence today, both for Greg Biffle, Michael Annette, and anyone else we've lost here in 2025. The motorsports community has been hit very hard this year, and I think it's important that we take some time away from the chaos that we see in the rest of TOECAR to have a quick moment of silence. So if you'd like to, could you please join me? Let's keep the entire chat quiet for 10 seconds. I'm going to sit silently here for 10 seconds. And then, of course, we'll jump right into our usual TOECAR action. Admittedly, there is going to be a bit of a tonal shift because we are going to be excited for that part. So just so everybody's prepared. But I would appreciate it if we could all jump in here and have this moment of silence. So without further ado, let's take some time to remember Greg Biffle, Michael Annette, and everyone else we've lost this year. Thank you. The drivers, characters, and events in TOECAR are fictional. Nobody was harmed in the filming of this production. So sit back and enjoy the race. Merry Christmas and welcome to TOECAR. Of course, the KYROC series here at Daytona. Race number 2. Oh my god, they're already trying to mess with each other. I'm your host.
Yeah.
You hear Mike already. He's going to join me today. Just a two-man booth, but that is not going to hold us back. Going to have an absolute classic here today. Look at that sky. Look at these cars. I can't wait. I don't know what to expect today. These cars are going, let's just check. Why don't we just check? 242, quick as hell, around a very fast track. This place has evidently degraded quite a bit since we've last been here. It kind of looks a little bit more aged, let's say. But Mike, what are you expecting to see today?
Well, it's aged, but we've aged throughout the year. It's the very end of the year. We're at Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm so excited to be back at Daytona after only, 5 weeks since we were there in the main series, but it looks amazing. The sky is beautiful. Look at that. I love wintertime down here in Florida. It makes something happen in the atmosphere. But the speeds are incredible. The racing, it looks like it's going to be incredible here today, Kyle. We're going 3 and 4 wide in practice already. We got some of the most experienced and best drivers in TOECAR, some of them not. And it looks to be very exciting here today.
No doubt, Mike. A lot more room for activities. Of course, only 20 cars in KYROC, and that's just for now. God forbid we kill somebody, it's going to be even less. Although I do have some good news to report. We talked about this a little bit in the Discord. I'm sure not everybody that watches this is in there, though, so let me be the first to say we are, in fact, being blessed by Dadgum. I don't know how we got word of this, but Rob Pockets actually told us before the weekend started. Dadgum from the heavens, here to bless this race, here to end, I'm quoting here, save someone. I don't know who or what or how many people or what the situation might be. But it's good to know that we have somebody up in the sky, up in that beautiful sky that you mentioned, taking a look at this track, making sure as many drivers come home in one piece as possible. That being said, last week we almost didn't have that happen, so let's take a look at our injury report. Well, up first, Neil Anderthal took a devastating flip down into turn 3 at Bristol. And after that impact, Steve Basil told us he evolved. You know how there's that diagram of what a human would look like if they survived every single car crash, what it would take from evolution? Well, I'm being told that Neil Anderthal actually evolves that quickly himself and has actually made strides to doing just that after his terrifying barrel roll at Bristol. Neil Anderthal feeling it a little bit, but going to be racing today. Up next, the person who hit him, Daddy McBetty. I'm told he was depressed all week long, couldn't live with himself after what he thought he did to Neil. Thankfully for him, Neil ends up coming back to the track A-okay this week, so looks like Daddy's going to be able to let himself off the hook there a little bit, but still was feeling it. Feeling a little bit of the impact too, but I'm sure he'll be just fine. And speaking of impacts, first and foremost, Andrew and Down Under had a horrific accident at the end of last week's race, or the last race, I should say. It wasn't last week. But nonetheless, he and that 76 both hit the inside wall. Down Under turned out to be just fine. Most of that impact was dissipated when the car went up and then back down into the ground. Andrew, however, a devastating barrel roll all the way up into the catch fencing at turn 3. We hit the catch fence at Bristol, of all places, guys. Can you fucking believe it? But nonetheless, Andrew tumbled many, many times in very quick succession. I'm being told he has a case of Weebles wobble. I'm not really sure what that is, but it might be impacting his driving here today. Here at Daytona, you want to stay in line and get as much draft as possible. He's going to have his work cut out for him.
Well, Kyle, I didn't think Bristol would bring any injuries, quite honestly, but, being a TOECAR series, you're going to have ouchies no matter what. But going 300 miles an hour here damn near, I think we're going to have a lot more ouches here today possibly, but hopefully not. We might just see some good racing, but I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see it.
No doubt, Mike. So I think let's get things underway. Let's go down and hear the command. I don't even know who they have down there today, so it's going to be a surprise for all of us.
Gentlemen, start your engines. John Madden, John Madden, John Madden.
No way. Moonbase Alpha here for the command.
Oh, I thought that was Stephen Hawking.
On pole. First, we have Can't See Anything, last week's runner-up, with Humphrey Clot to his side. Then, row 2, Andrew in the 99 and Chris the Catheter Keen, former winner in the Track Series as a crew chief this season. Chris Collin down under to make up row 3. Then behind that, row 4, Preston the Wall alongside LW Wrong in that 50 car. Rounding out our top 10, Electric Bill Landlines with Buster Guts to his right. Then, 62, Balser White this week driving that car, and Corey Origami alongside him. Neil Anderthal took a terrible crash last week, and he's going to start alongside Jeff Gordummy in row 7. Row 8, Ernest Herbert Walker with Jake Joe to his side. These guys all crashed in qualifying back here. As you see on the bottom there, Glucose Maxing and Bill Beef in row 9. A very, very treacherous track. Daddy McPetty and Pekar Petty going to bring up the rear there. Man, that's unusual here in TOECAR. You usually don't see 6+ cars all crash in qualifying, Mike. That just tells you how tough this is going to be.
It's going to be very tough, and we are very fortunate that the cameras are turned off and electrocuted to make sure they do not work again before the start of every qualifying session, except for a couple of 55 cars in the Trash Series, but it doesn't matter. Can't See Anything. He's got to be happy starting on the pole here at Daytona. Was just shy of making the Season 5 draft, and he's going to be starting in first at the most famous racetrack on Earth, in my opinion, so it's got to be a prestigious honor here.
Well, not only that, though, in TOECAR at least, not even in TOECAR, just in general, Daytona is one of the most dangerous tracks that anybody goes to, especially us here in TOECAR. And I got to be honest, I'm really, really happy we have that blessing because we are absolutely going to need it. You see right there, oh my goodness. Sylvester Standalone, very close to the racetrack. That is one brave person right there, holding that red flag.
I love his outfit. Very, very, very classic.
Spiffy today, no doubt. Pace car's in. Another day. Merry Christmas. Another bogey. We're green.
Boogity, boogity, who farted?
I believe that was the green flag coming out, Mike, as we see the field storm down its turn. 140 laps on the agenda today. And honestly, these tires, pardon me, gonna melt off these cars. I'm sure you could tell by looking at them. These KYROC cars don't exactly make the same amount of downforce as the other two series.
No, they definitely, they're shaped a lot more flat, a lot more aerodynamic, it looks like. And Andrew taking good advantage of that. He knows how to get around this racetrack. He's been in TOECAR since Season 1, very first draft, and taking good advantage of the draft here, as looks like Bill Landline's trying to make a good move down to the inside. Going to start out leading the race here.
Glucose Maxing.
Right on board with Glucose Maxing. Did not advance the orb in the tournament last week at Tix Creek. A little upset for him for that, but that's all right. He's still got the entire KYROC schedule ahead of him.
The sky looks like cotton candy, Mike, and that's what the winner's going to be eating here today. I'm told they brought an entire truckload down into Victory Lane. Here from Chris the Catheter Keen. There's the stat I was talking about. Just won the Trenton race in Trash as the crew chief of that 42. Urethra Franklin, of course, winning that race. Oh, my God. Sylvester's still standing there. You can just see him in that one frame.
Yeah, someone needs to tell him to bring it on in, buddy. There's no need for you to stand down there and risk your life under a green flag run. These cars are going. Can we get a speed check on this?
I don't believe we
have
the technology. However, this is what it looks like here on board the 81. Neil Anderthal flying down the back. Did you see the throwback Goonier blimp up there? Halfway down the back?
Yeah, hope that's not filled with hydrogen as a throwback.
It's filled with something. Who knows? Off turn 4. Look at them lift. Look at all the backfire coming out of those pipes. These cars absolutely have their work cut out for them today. No vehicle, much less a car like this, is suited to really go 250 around the oval here at Daytona. And with it being so hot today, I'm told it's actually up to 150 degrees in some of these cars. These drivers having the warmest Christmas they've ever had in their life.
That's climate change for you. And someone who's very fitting for the season is that 5-car Bill Beef and that plaid car. Very Christmas themed. I like that. Very good time of year to run that kind of a paint scheme.
Absolutely hiding out on that high side right behind Daddy McBetty. There was Andrew. Somebody that's honestly had a big presence so far this season. Of course, last week, unfortunately, tumbling up into the catch fencing at Bristol, of all places. I think he was like the second car, actually, to hit the catch fence, if I'm not mistaken. That 81, who coincidentally, right behind him, also got all the way up there almost.
Yeah, both those guys had a pretty anonymous career in their normal TOECAR rides. But hoping to make the most of it here in a more trimmed field. Definitely showing their talent, running up in the top 5 so far. Here comes Pekar Petty, last week's winner. wanting to make it 2 in a row.
And he's honestly holding a good line down there. You see, not Harold's, pardon me, Herbert
Here
Walker
comes
Clot
old daddy.
pushing up behind him. It is so tough to hold that bottom line. Every time you enter the corner here, the car just wants to go right to the wall, and then on corner exit, we'll see it more as these tires wear. Gets very, very loose.
Ernest, come on, bud.
Look at that. That whole high side. If you want to up in that third groove, you're just in trouble. There's just no way you're going to get out of that corner unscathed. Oh my gosh, Jeff Gordon, what a move in the middle there. You see that?
He wanted to block the view for Ernest to not scare him because he knows what's coming. He doesn't want Ernest to have to see that.
And not only is this a short race, you see, the 69
God.
big lift. Not only is this a short race at only 40 laps, let's not forget KYROC, a little bit unique compared to the other two series. In the other two series of KYROC, you get points no matter where you finish. Here in KYROC, you have to come home in the top 10, otherwise you might as well not have been here. Daddy McBetty, big move to the bottom.
This is going to make his depression feel better. Good run off of turn 2 here. He's going to have to block. Oh, God, never mind. He's got Buster Guts behind him. That is a death sentence. As we saw, he caused about 15 crashes in the last 3 weeks combined across all the TOECAR series. So he's pissed off people in the control tower. He's pissed off people in the racetrack, in the grandstands. He's killed people's favorite drivers.
I can't say
not a good look.
I can't say it's a bad idea trying to avoid that 4 car. Honestly, it's been the kiss of death to be anywhere near him. So can't blame him one bit. I think you're going to see a lot of that today as you see some of these drivers kind of figure out who works well with who, what car you want to be behind, what car you might want to be in front of. Speaking of cars headed to the front, that 62 Funfetti car on the bottom there, that's Balter White. I don't think we've seen Balter White since maybe Season 2. I'm pretty sure he made at least one Plot 55 start, but he can't have made many, and he's up here in the lead.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those drivers that was pretty famous back in the day, but then tapered off pretty damn quick. And is about to get showed up by the phone man right there.
Phone man,
things don't last long.
Taking the lead in that 42 car. And he had a very, very tumultuous week. I was actually speaking to Bill Landlines before the race, and evidently he's been getting threatened all week long. Nobody really knows exactly what the situation is. It might just be prank calls, all the kids home from school for the holidays and all. But nonetheless, he's had a really, really rough week. I'm being told his house actually got called about 45 times in a day, so that's a whole lot. Electric bill, though. Maybe he wants to actually not pay his electric bill, and maybe it'll solve the problem for him.
Well, I heard that his engineer, what's his name? I gotta check my sheet right here. DSL Dominic was doing a lot of work in the offseason trying to make that car as fast as possible for him, and wow.
You see the view there? In back of this 3 car. This is what it looks like if you're the leader. Priss call, 3 lanes coming behind you. There's Glucose Maxing trying to make a 4th lane. The pressed one himself, Daddy McBetty, 2 jack stands down there. They really want to lift that car up, as do the 16, I guess. Up on the high side, though, look at the lift.
Oh, Fox.
My gosh. Just trying to get a glimpse of what it's like for these drivers. Here's on board that 62 Balter on this bottom groove, right behind the 69. That's last week's winner. That's a great person to follow. But you just see these cars losing grip every single lap here, Mike.
Absolutely, and they stab on the brakes anytime they enter the corners. And you gotta think, if you do it a fraction of a second later than the car in front of you, you're going to run somebody over and send someone outside of the racetrack. As you see the catch fence apparently on hiatus on part of the racetrack here. It starts back right there, and so Sylvester, buddy, bring it on in.
Yeah, I'm actually being told that the catch fence is working from home today, Mike, so only here partially. Here to do a little bit of the job, but evidently not here to do all of the job. Classic TOECAR fashion. I'm getting a text in the booth. What could Bill Bullshit possibly want right now? We're going to let that stand, and he's going to have to fire me. I don't know. Down the back, and you're starting to see it more and more. These cars, there's the blimp. Starting to see it more and more, though. These cars are going to space out more and more. We talk about the InstaWear tires in the Cup and the Trash Series. These cars don't quite have that, but boy, howdy do they fall off. You see there the whole groove all the way pushed up to the wall there off turn 4. And we're just going to see that more and more and more. Buster Guts going back for the lead. That can't be what anybody wants to see right now.
No, if he wins this race, he's going to get out, look at the crowd, and say, I killed your favorite driver. But that's all right, because Jake Joe's going to take a good move on him right there, going for the lead. Was involved in a bad crash at Pix Creek with his brother last week. Both of them pretty sad about that. Not going to be a good Christmas, as Ginger's going to be resting up for a while.
Well, the one positive thing, at least for Jake Joe, he's probably the only person that kind of escaped that crash okay out of all the people that got involved. That was a pretty vicious one, which, unfortunately we see quite a bit there at Pix Creek. 3 wide for the lead.
Good run down the bottom for Bill Beef. Haven't seen much out of him since the fight, but...
Oh, Jake Joe, what are you doing?
Now. trying to tip right himself on Andrew. Those two probably have a history.
They have a history. These guys, very long-term TOECAR drivers. Honestly, that's the charm of this KYROC field, honestly. You take a look, it's a who's who of people from Season 1. Of course, you got other people like Bill Beef, can't see anything. They might have found their way in here a little bit too. Ernest Herbert Walker Claw's been around before anybody, so I feel like, if anything, this is his birthright.
I'm surprised his name isn't Adam, being the first person, but...
Down Under going for the lead. Down Under flipped on the last lap of that race last week at Bristol, or 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, I still cannot believe how many cars we turned over at a, half-mile track, but it'd be all right. we got a pond here. We got no wall, or we got walls, but we got no fence. Things are a lot more dangerous here. We're going about 4 times the speed. As who's we got there? Ernest going for the lead. Hell yeah, buddy.
Oh my gosh, Glucose nearly hit the wall. And it's getting real tough. You can just see the space. Look at that gap in front of that 24 car. A big gap to Bill Beef, and that's going to have 2 effects here at Daytona. You see from the skies above here. Oh, just look at that high side lift. Not only are those spaces going to allow for bigger runs, it's going to allow more of these drivers to actually make a move, control their own destiny. We're seeing a very classic Daytona race here.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting flashbacks to some 80s and 90s races right here. The tires are wearing out. They're getting very hot. We're getting down bottom groove, and then it washes all the way up to the top when the grip goes completely away. And man, if somebody spins down in Sylvester, his legs are just going to vanish, and then his torso is just going to slap onto the pavement. That's going to be horrific for television.
No doubt. He must be the bravest person in all of sports, honestly. Not only is Sylvester down there, he was down there at Pigs Creek. He's been down there for many a TOECAR race. Andrew nearly turning Jake Show, pardon me. Jeff Gordummy in the middle there. They're going to sort it out, but they are bricked up.
Somebody back there haven't talked too much about LW wrong. He's all the way down to the bottom. He's got a few glimpses of the lead in the last 17 laps, but hasn't made it stick so far.
Trying to make that
Got a good run behind Andrew right there. Oh, Buster Guts is pushing. That's all you need to see.
And Buster almost turned him. You saw that 50 car get loose off the corner. That's only going to amplify as we go.
Look at Bill.
He's making a huge run.
Oh, that's probably why his torso's so damn stretched out.
Aerodynamic Mike, that's how he's getting to the lead, and it's honestly, the proof's in the pudding. Look at how many cars he just passed. Going for more here. Peck Arpetti to the high side. I think Peck's got a better run, though. And that's the strength of the draft in these cars. You get a monster run pretty much any time.
Here comes the catheter. Had a great success as a crew chief back at Trenton. Oh.
The cotton
Is it
candy
just me,
sky.
or is the sky getting more vibrant as we go?
Well, that's the sun, Mike. It tends to go down at night. Out of the
Lay off
trial.
the peyote.
Humphrey Clot leading the way. And you got to think, the lesser famous of pretty much all the Clots, the only one that we talk about less is probably Rupert, who's been Harold's crew chief silently this whole time. But Humphrey, been in a car before, in a car today, and he's got his ancient dad in the field to help him. A couple cars back in that high side right now. So you got to think, with the luck they've had, oh man, Jeff Gordummy.
Oh, we're about to go 4 wide right here. They're no grip.
I almost spoke it into existence. We almost lost that 55 and maybe even the 1 in the process as we're coming to start lap 20.
Sounds beautiful.
I can't believe I'm saying this, Mike. We're nearly halfway there. So this is like a TOECAR miracle. Maybe Dadgum really is looking after us because we got halfway. Everybody's still in one piece. Somehow, they're trying their hardest not to be. And
I hope Dadgum's not involved because that was peaceful and then there was an explosion. So,
well, the one positive thing here is that there is a lot of room to spin without hitting anything. However, especially down that backstretch, God forbid you find yourself all the way by that inside. You might find yourself jumping into the infield like Harold did a few weeks back, or Adita Hatman.
Pressing the wall, hoping to not be his namesake here today because there are no safer barriers. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is rebar reinforced concrete.
Boilerplate, being told actually, which is the worst thing you can hit. Shout out to Pocono back in the day where they just break the wall. Hopefully we don't do that here today, but with how these drivers are, especially that one, did you see that in the middle of the pack there? That 4-car Buster Guts tries his hardest to block that 16 Glucose Max and gonna say fuck you and take the spot anyway. And just like that, we're 3x3 all through the pack again.
Oh, they're slamming on the brakes off the corner. Oh,
what is he?
Is there a yellow?
I don't think so, Mike. I'm not sure what Sylvester's deal is. He just kind of decides to hold that flag up sometimes. You know what it might be? You know how like people fight bulls and they hold up the little red cape and then they pull it away last minute?
He's taunting them.
Yeah, he's trying to entice those drivers to come down there and take a look at the infield, see where the bees were a few months ago.
You do not need the taunt Buster Guts. He will do it. Here he comes. He's already waving his hand. He's about to come down to kill him.
Well, I'm sure somebody's going to try their hardest to here in a moment as they are 3x3 for the lead. The 55 in the middle, but Daddy McBetty, the depressed one himself. Oh!
Ernest is going to be the one to do it, isn't he?
Oh my gosh, Down Under almost turned that 23 in the lead too. If you wreck in front of this whole pack going this fast, it's going to be a goddamn Christmas disaster, which is a shame because right now, we're on track for a Christmas miracle, Mike. 23 laps in, not a single accident. This has got to be a TOECAR record. And it's not like they've been boring either. They're 4 wide in the back there. We've had a new leader pretty much every lap. There's been a lot to offer here today.
That pond is looking hungry, Kyle.
Man, see there, though, so hard to predict where that run's going to come from. Oh, man, and the big check up
They need to quit doing that off the corner. There's no reason. That's when you need to hit the gas, not the brakes, people. Come on. Ernest knows what he's doing.
Back in the lead in that one car.
And Andrew, being anonymous and leading the race, something he's done a lot in TOECAR.
And really give a call to this 20 car. Can't see anything. This has been just an absolutely remarkable season so far. I know it's only 2 races in, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, but nearly winning his debut TOECAR race. Very few drivers can say that. Here he is leading a second ever race. Shaping up to be a really, really stout start to the career for that man.
Oh, well, Bill Landlines decided he needs to not be anywhere near the front because he almost fucking pit maneuvered him. Pit maneuvered, but very proud of that move. Pekar Petty's still trying to make it 2 in a row here on the top. He's got a push from Jake Joe up there. And LW deciding who to go with. Looks like he's going to go with him.
And before we move too far away from that 20 car, I was actually a little bit curious. As we all know, can't see anything. Unfortunately blind. Doesn't know what's in front of him at any point here in TOECAR. And I know what you're thinking. That's not, anything new. Babe Ruth's been racing like that for seasons now. However, I was trying to figure out how exactly he figures out where his car is on the track. And what he told me was he has a walkie-talkie on the front bumper of that car with the microphone button pushed down, and he's using echolocation. However it sounds on that walkie is how exactly he knows where that 20 car is in relativity to the rest of the cars. As we see them nearly go 4 wide into turn 1, Bill. Oh my gosh, shoots it up right the middle. And he's going to get like 3 spots out of that.
God, and McBetty, he's now in the Deathbird seat.
Man, and just look at the run. The 81
Ken
and
all the way to the
96.
back.
Yeah, it doesn't take long here. Unfortunately, you get those big runs. A lot of cars will sweep past you all in one. Off turn 4 there. But it's just remarkable. Look at this. These 2 cars, Buster and Andrew, way up ahead. Watch how quickly these 2 will get run over by the rest of this group. It probably will happen off turn 2. Maybe it'll happen sooner. Look at that's 96. Corey Origami already back to the 99.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that was all draft or if he stabbed the brakes going into the corner there, but it didn't matter because here comes Bill Landlines at a big push here for the 3 car. Priss call. Last time he went this fast, he went into the wall at Pigs Creek and never raced for several months.
No doubt, Mike.
Oh, we're about to get crashed right here.
Buster.
Oh, no.
Man, Buster nearly gets the... He got one of them. He got 2 of them. He tricked them. He got him into the pits, Mike. We got pit stops here in TOECAR under green. That's got to be a
first. Has this ever happened?
No, this is the first time this has ever happened. I think, there we go. We got a camera down on those guys. Let's take a look at those pit stops. Service begins. I think they're going to take some tires. They'd be dumb not to. I mean, if you're going to pit, you might as well get the grip for pitting, right?
Oh, they're probably going to gain about 5 seconds a lap here from what it looks like. They have no grip out here.
And let's not forget, these guys volunteers, not quite professional speeds. 13:47 for Jake Joe. The 62 going to clock in at 14:52, and you see him getting run down by the 2 there.
Ernest could have done his own stop quicker than that. Oh, look out,
Buster
Sylvester.
Guts.
That's not good.
That's the last person he wanted to see, Mike. Buster Guts entering the pits. Here comes these 2. Ooh.
Oh, they'll be all right. They know what they're doing.
That's been an object of concern many times here in TOECAR, unfortunately. Buster pulling his way in for his pit stop. Looks like even more tires, probably. There we go, lifting that right side up.
Oh, he's playing Connect 4 with his crew chief right now.
I mean, anything to pass the time. That's what they call bonding, Mike, Something we don't do at Plot 55, and you can tell in the results trouble!
LW, come on, save it, brother, save it. He did.
I can't believe they had it pointed in the right direction. That 50 car and 81, though, both damaged, and it looks like they're going to lose the draft after this.
They might as well pit. Well, no, I guess not. That makes no sense, but go on, keep racing.
Well, they missed their chance. The 4 car pulling back out onto the track, and I can't believe I'm saying this. When we get to the line, there's 10 to go.
That's incredible. What an incredible display of racing here today. I don't think we've ever seen TOECAR racing quite like this. Just pure chaos without anybody getting turned. I mean, we saw a little bit of a scuffle on the wall right there, but nobody even got 45 degrees sideways out of that.
I'm telling you, Mike, as you see, they're trying their hardest to wreck and pass each other. These are the most aggressive drivers I think I've seen here at Daytona in quite a while. But giving each other space, and more importantly, having half the cars as usual out there. It's kind of like at the end of, a Trash Series or Cup Series race. You have half the field all torn up in the league of their own in the back. And then you kind of get some good racing for the lead from there on. We're kind of seeing that right now. And all it took was the casualty of the 50 and 81 hitting the wall a little bit, and a couple people pitting.
55 car leading the race. Good to see that for our team right there.
These are the
At
three
least
that,
last time.
the three that already pitted. They look like to be in one big pack there, so they're going to be, at the very least, racing for the lucky dog for now. But if this cycles all the way through, they're going to be racing for the lead, potentially.
Surprised the difference in pit strategy. I expected everybody to be coming in within the same 3-lap window, but we got some guys waiting a good bit longer.
And, you know, with all the fuel that they're probably saving lifting like that, you got to think, is maybe anybody trying to make it? Can they make it? Or will they run out of fuel in the last lap? Something we've seen happen many times here in TOECAR already.
It would be incredible to see somebody winning on fuel strategy, especially with a completely green flag race like this. I am completely here for whatever weird strategy to get a win. I'm all about ingenuity, and strange pit strategy is absolutely ingenuity. Still screaming around turn 1 and 2. Here's Bill Beef. He's going to bring it on in. Start his what's probably going to end up being a 30-second pit stop, as he had the probably the worst crew, as it's TOECAR volunteers, but the worst of them from the booth.
That's a fantastic point. We honestly want to give the TOECAR officials the least amount of advantage possible. You know, we already get enough claims of #rigged, and we're going to do what we can to prevent anything of the sort from ever happening. So we make all of our TOECAR staff drive the worst equipment possible. Shout out to Chunk, who does the exact same thing with his teammates.
He would not like you saying that, Kyle. But
This is nothing new.
Comes Chris the Catheter, now leading this pack right here.
And he's got a big advantage.
Daddy McBetty's going to get all the way in the back there as he gets screamed by. Oh, Down Under's about to get down up.
Living up to his lane, Mike, going right down to the bottom. You see them coming off turn 4. Do we have any more takers down into the pits? A big checkup there. I see the red flag. Oh, no!
Oh,
Contact!
God, oh, my God.
Oh!
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well, that's that.
Oh, no.
Get the cameras off that at any time, guys.
That was Bill. Bill.
I think that popped the blimp.
All right, I'll take a look at this first replay here, begrudgingly, of course. Off turn 4, you see Bill pulls it down a little bit right in front of that 11, going right for Sylvester. They're going to miss him, but going to make a huge impact. Oh, my God. Up into the fence. Oh!
I hope the fans are all right. Everything just went flying into the seats.
But, Mike, that's the prophecy. That's what Dadgum was protecting. Let's not forget at Trenton, his car went right through the fence and then right through quite a few fans in the grandstands. This 42 car had the same trajectory, hits the fence, and comes to a stop. If Tristan were here, he'd say he loves that the catch fence did its job. Let's take another view here.
Oh, God. Thank God the concrete did its job for those people back there.
No kidding.
But, and then Kent, I wonder how that sounded over the radio.
He missed every bit of the wall on his way back up, Mike. He went directly into the fence, made no stops along the way. I'm not even sure that car hit the ground more than once until it got there. Lands up on its nose there, comes back to Earth. Thank goodness he didn't get plowed by any of these cars. That's the last thing Bill would have needed here. Good God.
Man, I'm pretty sure all he's hearing is a dial tone right now.
Let's take a look. This is full speed.
Yeah, pressing the wall. Very, very lucky to avoid that. He almost got his entire body sheared off of his feet. But I'm very disappointed that we lost. I'm presuming that we lost Bill Landlines from the sound of it.
I mean, let's listen in.
Right on board with him. Oh my God! I didn't know Armco could make that sound. Maybe that was just his organs.
That was every single cell of his body slapping up directly against the concrete, Mike. Here's from the 11 car pressing the wall. What did he see?
Oh my God! It's gonna be the best view. Oh!
And guys, I just received word. We did in fact lose Electric Bill landlines after that terrible crash.
That is not surprising.
Christmas is ruined.
Not really. We can move on to DSL.
Welcome back to Daytona, where I'm being told Jake Joe, the first of all the people who pitted, so not only is he going to receive the Fortuna K9 here, Mike, he's got fresh tires to boot. He's going to have all the grip in the world.
Well, that's good for him. I'm still a little shaken up over the loss of Bill Landlines. That was a good friend of mine.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he had a lot of good connections.
Well, you know what they say about friends, you can always make some more, and that's unfortunately what both us and the TOECAR drivers are going to have to do. Electric Bill, gone too soon. And honestly, this race has been gone too soon. We're coming to, I think, about 2 or 3 to go here, if memory serves me right. We're going to take a look off turn 4 here, down under, right below the 99. Andrew. These are 2 cars that wrecked on the last lap of last week. Here they are leading us to the restart of our first caution. That usually isn't too impressive, but here on like lap 30-something, that actually is, Mike.
Yeah, and if anything, history is going to repeat itself, and they're probably going to be taking each other out here for the win again. As we're going to be coming down, only 2 to go. The fart signifies it, and here we go. This call is going to give a huge shove to down under there, but it's not going to work because the catheter has, I guess, better flow on the top there.
I'm not sure if...
Oh, but here comes Corey.
They don't make catheters for viscosity, Mike, I'm afraid. That 96, sorry, that 76 getting pushed down in the bottom. Priss call right on his bumper. Now Priss going for the lead himself, but here comes Pekar Petty to his inside.
Last race's winner. Oh, and a huge shove from Denny McBetty. He's upset, he's sad, but this is a great way to cure it.
Oh, and these are the oldest the tires have been. Here comes the one.
Is that Ernest Herbert Walker Clott, father of Harold, the most second-place finishes in TOECAR history?
Well, he's about to live up to the family tradition, Mike. In second place right now. Can he do better than his son? He shoots out of a cannon. Here comes Bill Beef.
Here comes Bill Beef. More shit staff.
Oh, and he's looking to the high side, has all the momentum in the world. He's going to get there to the quarter panel.
Oh.
He's right alongside him, Mike.
But look back there. Look at that. The Funfetti car. That's
Balter.
That's Balter White. He's going to be the catbird seat, it looks like.
He's
got
fucking
a huge
flying
run right here.
He's flying.
Cruising.
And he looks underneath.
Look down to the inside.
To the line. Christmas Day.
Ernest.
He got him.
Ernest.
He got him. Ernest Herbert Walker Clott. The first Clott winner on Christmas. Father Christmas.
Merry Christmas to the Clott family and everybody. Kind of bittersweet because he shows up the most popular driver in TOECAR, his son Harold Clott, to become the first winner of the family. Well, besides his wife Harold, or his wife Claire. But
Okay,
congratulations to Ernest, 120 years old. My God.
Free Social Security for everyone. There's going to be a party at the nursing home tonight.
Nobody can afford that.
That's a great point. You know what? After financial reconsideration, we will no longer be celebrating, except for Ernest, who I'm sure will be doing all the celebrating for us here at Daytona.
Take a look at this photo finish right here. Very not reminiscent of Pigs Creek because it looks like the Clott car is going to cross the line first. Very impressed with that. A great drive by the 120-year-old man. Look at that. Half a car length over the 62 of Balter White. 2 guys that we've seen in TOECAR, or at least heard about for a long time. Very happy to see that for the entire Clott family. I know Harold's got to be elated to see his father win something, even though he hasn't been able to do it himself yet, so he's still got half a season of Season 5 left, and however long he decides to keep the old ticker going. But a great run for second place there, Balter White in the 62 car. Great run all night long for him, too. And just an incredible display of racing. The first time we've ever had green flag pit stops in TOECAR. I didn't think we'd ever live to see that day. But we saw it, and of course, the great racing all day long, of course, had to come to a crashing end with Bill Landlines there on the inside wall. Had to cap it off, make it completely TOECAR coded. But what better way to end Christmas?
Well, no kidding, Mike. That was probably one of the best displays of driving I think we've ever seen here in TOECAR. And honestly, all these drivers, even Bill, unfortunately, who's not going to be here to do it, deserve a round of applause and should pat themselves on the back because that had to be some of the best racing we've ever seen. I think every single turn, pretty much, we saw somebody new going for the lead. I don't have an official word on how many lead changes there were. Let's actually take a look at the stats here and confirm. We had one new pretty much every single lap, though. Taking a look officially on the board, get this, 36 lead changes. 40 laps and 36 lead changes, Mike. Unbelievable. Of course.
No lull in the action here today. And I think those few laps where there was no lead changes are probably those couple caution laps, honestly.
Oh, and can you believe it, Mike? I just got a text. This was the text earlier from a Bill Bullshit. I should have read this earlier, honestly. That 5 car, as well as the 62 car, both a lap down, that actually wasn't the finish for the win at all. In fact, second place today, taking a look at our results now, can't see anything. We completely missed that. Shout out to Fox for all the inspiration. Ernest Herbert Walker Clott, though, still your winner. Can't see anything, gonna come home second. Pekar Petty third. Glucose Maxing comes home top 5. And then, Mike, we see the final people in the top 10 going to come home with points today. Neil Anderthal, Jeff Cordummy, Humphrey Clott on the board as one of the drivers in the 62 and 55. These drivers not full-time, of course, but nonetheless, Humphrey found a way to earn himself some points today. Denny McBetty going to come home 9th. And in rounding out our top 10 is Chris the Catheter Keen. A good few weeks for that 65.
Well, Kyle, it doesn't matter if that wasn't the race for the win, because here at TOECAR, we're all about entertainment, and that was entertaining calling it as if it was for the win. But congratulations, can't see anything on the second place finish. I'm sure he would have loved to see that.
And I think this is his second place finish in a row in this series. If I'm not mistaken, he lost at Bristol last corner too. So can't see anything. 2 podiums in a row. This 20 car has nothing but speed so far. Well, that's going to settle things here at Daytona. Congratulations to Ernest Herbert Walker Clot, for Mike, for myself, and for anybody else in the TOECAR crew. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas and good night.
TOECAR!
Ho, 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 car.